5 seconds.
I gave 3 discs.
Oh yeah, you're good. Okay. Here we go.
Hello everyone, this is Olga show for you. We're starting our program in English and we're all over Bay Area. We're starting from Carmel, Monterey, all the way to San Francisco, Vallejo, Concord, and Walnut Creek, and of course, capital of Silicon Valley, San Jose, Stanford University, Berkeley, San Francisco, and many others. We do have support of our students, including San Jose State University. We have a wonderful board operator sitting with us from San Jose State University. Thank you. So we're hoping to receive a good sound today for all of you. And we do have guests. But before we're gonna do that, I would like to announce and remind for everyone that the Bay Bridge will be closed Labor Day weekend until Tuesday, September 3rd, until 5 a.m. And I can give you history behind this. Of course, first I would like to wish everybody happy Labor Day weekend. And you can find us on Ustream, then you can see what we actually do in our studio. And you can see our guest, Marshall Childs. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And let me read out loud about Bay Bridge. So, this Labor Day weekend, the Bay Bridge will be closed to take the original east span out of service and to open the new east span to traffic. Work will be done at the Oakland Touchdown and the Yerba Buena Island transition structure to connect the new bridge to the existing toll plaza and Yerba Buena Island respectively. Crews will also perform essential construction activities, including paving, stripping, and erecting barrier rail. Throughout the closure, maintenance will work on the west span, replacing lighting fixtures, cleaning and painting the cable, and repairing finger joints. For more information about construction during the weekend, see other information on baybridgeinfo.org. While the Bay Bridge was closed during Labor Weekend in 2006, 2007, and 2009, essential construction work was successfully completed on schedule. Taking advantage of historically light traffic on the bridge during the holiday weekend helps minimize disruption to motorists, residents, and businesses. Experience gained from previous closures will help us perform this construction safely again this year. This closure marks the final step before the new bridge opens to traffic. Since 1936, the original east span has facilitated the movement of people and goods throughout the Bay Area. The 7.1 magnitude Loma Prieta earthquake in 1989 significantly damaged the region's transportation structures and exposed the vulnerability of the existing east span. Since that day, the Toll Bridge Program Oversight Committee has worked diligently to replace the original bridge and move everyone into a safer structure. Following the safe reroute of traffic to the new east span, the original east span will be demolished, a process that will take approximately 3 years. Getting around. Residents and visitors will have numerous alternatives to getting around the Bay Area, while the entire Bay Bridge is closed during the Labor Day weekend. Motorists should allow extra time for travel and use of other bridges, including the Golden Gate Bridge, the Richmond San Rafael Bridge, the San Mateo Hayward Bridge, and the Dumbarton Bridge. Vehicle access to Yerba Buena Island and Treasure Island for residents, employees, and visitors will be maintained via special permit from City of San Francisco. What we will have: New East Span debuts new driving experience on Tuesday, September 3rd, will allow motorists encounter a new driving experience as traffic moves from the upper and lower decks of the original bridge to the parallel side-by-side decks of the new east span. The new side-by-side construction will open panoramic views of the San Francisco Bay and surrounding hills. Bike and pedestrian paths for the first time will allow us the chance to travel across the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge east span on a 15.5-foot wide bike pedestrian path that will extend the 2.2 miles to Yerba Buena Island. Before the pathway can fully connect to Yerba Buena Island, crews will need to demolish a portion of the existing bridge that sits in the way of the new bike and pedestrian path. Contractors must dismantle portions of the original bridge, including the S-curve, detour, that was put into place in 2009 in order to install the rest of the pass and connect it to Yerba Buena Islands, as well as replace a temporary pass at Auckland Touchdown. The bike pass is expected to be complete by summer 2015, and of course information again shall be found at baybridgeinfo.org. So have a safe drive around San Francisco and avoid the closure of Bay Bridge, which will be reopened at Tuesday, September 3rd, 5 a.m. And what music do we have to play to make it a happy note for our listeners and viewers?
Well, I think as long as everybody likes cats, let's play some cattish music.
Okay.
It's gonna be Daft Punk, Cat Lucky by Enjoyken. Enjoy.
For cat lovers.
It's only short, 1 minute to 25 seconds.
Okay, that's fine.
But I have something else ready.
Okay, we probably go to the announcement where I was no SQL.
Bridge was built by a woman.
Really?
Engineer, yeah. With no engineering education.
I love that. I
Her
wish I
hus-
can meet her and learn.
Well,
how.
she's not around anymore.
Yeah, 1936 was built.
But her husband started it, but he got sick and died before it was finished, and she finished it. And the thing that was really significant
That's a true
is she
woman.
finished it ahead of schedule, under budget. They said true woman, under budget. It's like
Wow.
women
Song
good
is
managers
hilarious.
of budget, right? And the Golden Gate Bridge about the same time, over budget, over time,
And no gold
and,
anywhere.
and less
Fine.
difficult to build.
Oh man.
We can actually cover that later. And once again, Olga show for you. And I would like to let you know that you can watch us on Ustream, and later you're gonna see us on YouTube with the same programming if you missed us. No SQL Now, that's Swiss Conference in San Jose, California, August 20th to 22nd, was wonderful programming for all kinds of developers. Dataversity was produced by Dataversity, and also Tangent, Oracle, Objectivity, Infinite Graph, and Grid Gain. So enjoy that programming in the future. Of course, you can always contact us if you would like to have more programming done about that conference, and we were happy to work with them. Another conference was VMworld in San Francisco past week. Lots of information we gathered, and we have to work on it and give it to our listeners and viewers. So that was done last week. More conferences coming up. That would be IDF, which is Intel Development Forums, Box Works in San Francisco as well, of course Open World from Oracle Corporation, and don't forget America's Cups coming up, which is for you starting tomorrow. Use America's Cup will be tomorrow, which I had the chance to meet all of the wonderful guys and girls who would be driving in these huge catamarans. And of course we will have America's Cup coming up in September all the way until September 21st. We wish Larry Ellison and his team to win this game. Even so, we wish everybody to enjoy that big huge competition. And I will be covering America's Cup as well with pleasure. That would be interesting. So I will practice my English and Russian. So let's join the team. Nevertheless, I would like to remind also about Cloud Expo, which was in June 10 and 13th in New York City, but it's coming to Santa Clara in November 4th to 7. Again, it's Cloud Expo. Something huge about Cloud Expo coming up, and looks like cloud service and virtualization is on the way. All right, we're coming up to our guests. Hello, Marshall. How are you today?
Hello, Olga. I'm good. Thank you.
I need some break from doing all the talking, so might as well let you do all the talking. I will be just asking smart questions. Is that okay with you?
Oh, you're so smart.
All right. Well, I guess thank you for being so kind to me.
You said
Now
you
I'm
want-
like blushing.
Well, while you're blushing, I just wanted to tell you, you asked me before we got here, you said, who was my favorite childhood hero? And I had to think for a long time on that one.
Okay.
And this is different. My favorite childhood hero was Walter Hosek.
Wow. I don't even know who is that. I'm sorry.
I believe it
Can
was
you-
1939 was the Olympics,
I was
right?
not around.
And I wasn't around either, but I heard he was in the Olympics in 1939, and
Okay.
he was also my gymnastic coach. And that was my childhood gymnastic coach. He taught me everything I knew about being a gymnast and got me up to the championship level. And
I mean, this is true, right?
This is a true
not like
story.
a dream. Okay.
he was Czechoslovak, and
Okay.
so he used to tell me all the stories about what early gymnastics was like. It was really a lot of fun. But so he was in that controversial Olympic Games, if you recall. That was the one that all that stuff was going on with socialism. But he was there. He was part of that.
Okay.
And he was a really neat guy. I remember on his 70th birthday, he did a backflip on the parallel bars.
All right. You know that now we are like colleagues because I used to do gymnastics when I think I started when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
My parents didn't bring me to gymnastic schools. I just thought, okay, what should I do to make my body look great? And I look around and I thought gymnastics would be the best
It's.
alternative.
I think it is. Gymnasts always look good.
And that's what I took. I was 8 years old, so I started late. I didn't go to Olympiads, unfortunately, but had a lot of good training.
I agree. It was really great. I was privileged to be part of that, and the organization was really great. It's still around today. Called Sokol, meaning falcon in Czech.
Yeah, it's actually a Russian word too. Sokol means a bird, yes.
Okay, so that's all I know. I mean, that and a few other Bravo and Levo and another few words, and that's it.
All right. So, did you dream of becoming a famous gymnast, I guess? While you grew up?
I wanted to be a geologist, and that was
Okay.
my dream, to be a geologist. And by the time I got to college, they told me that if I wanted to be a geologist, my chances of employment was probably 1 in 1,000. And I could be a petroleum engineer, so then I had to change courses immediately.
Oh.
And I took up computer science.
So that was which year?
That was 1939, I believe.
No,
Oh, that
so-
wasn't quite there.
Oh,
It was a long time
no.
ago. I
Not
don't remember the-
1939. Okay, it's I don't know about computer science in 1939. Maybe in sci-fi movies.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was in a sci-fi movie
Okay.
I was watching.
So you didn't become geologist. You learned about computer science. How does that help you in your life,
Well, it taught me a
or
system.
ruin your life? I don't
Well,
know.
it was engineering. So I studied engineering. I wanted to be an engineer, so I studied physics. I studied what I wanted to study pretty much, and then did different things. And I tried to be an architect. And
Alright.
I studied architecture because it was like, you can't define art. I thought, oh, it'd be cool to be something I can understand. So, art and engineering going together, and I liked the mixture. And I did that for a few years, and then all of a sudden, the computers started becoming really big in the valley here in the in the 80s, and so I started spending all of my evenings learning how to program in computers. And so I was looking for work, and had my own company. I ran my own company at the time, and I was looking for other work, and I put a resume out with on the bottom. I said computer programming hobbies, and about a week later I got this call about how would you like to work for this company, and we will pay you more than you're making now. And I'd have, all I do is this for a hobby. I said, well, we want somebody that knows what they're doing. I said, that's me, and that was like a whole different career after that. Nothing looking back after that day.
Okay, so that was one of the great decisions you made. Do you want to have a company?
I have a company now. It's actually a corporation. It's owned by other people as well as me. And that's was a big thing for me. I had a sole proprietorship for years, a partnership. I've had several other forms of companies, and this started a few years ago. And I'm very happy with the company that we have now.
And going to start in a company, what do you need to start a company with all of your experiences starting in new companies?
Well, you have to have a passion. You can't just want to go to work. It can't be a 9-to-5 thing. I remember my first job in the architectural field was because I was having a hard time finding work, and I got really angry one day and decided just to start on my own. And 2 years later, I was so successful that my competition was calling me, offering me jobs. And I got down to the bottom of that, and they said, well, what they're really trying to do is they're trying to cut my competition out, and they're going to pay me less than I'm making now to work for them. I don't think so. So I got a taste of it. So it was fun to have your own company. It was fun to have your own beliefs. Do something that you felt was socially redeeming, and work and create the workplace that you always wanted to be in for the people that work for you.
Okay. And do you need to have a legal advice to start a company or during having a company?
Some people think, well, I'm an engineer, so I need to get really great this and that. And what you want to do is look very, very conservative in the very beginning. You know, you don't want to spend very much on legal advice, although legal advice is always great. And it will become more important as you become larger and you get into contract negotiations, and the money you make is much bigger. But in the beginning, you want to keep it very small. You want to have a legal entity. It's better to incorporate. There's several discussions on incorporation. The one that I favor is the C corporation, because you can have retained earnings. You don't have to return the money at the end of the year. And really, arguably, the taxation structure is better, especially for investors, since they don't have to be taxable when they put their money in. Their money is sheltered.
So we're talking about investors' money in C corporation?
You're right. Investors would be, the intention of a C corporation would be to not just reduce liability, so you couldn't be personally sued for your assets, and you would keep things distinct from your personal life, but also to attract investors, people that believe in what you're doing, and they wanted to be part of what you're doing. So your first investors are like a personal relationship, people that like what you do, and maybe they don't have a company of their own, but being part of your company lets them be in a company of their own.
What about money?
Well, money is another thing. You want to look at about what it's going to take to get the company going. For the first few months, you're going to need at least 3 months worth of personal money to be able to survive in the early beginnings. You're going to have to work real hard to get into a market space. So the trick of a company is to market immediately before you come up with a great product idea, and that's probably what you're going to ask me next about what should I do. And,
Yeah.
and it's a mistake most people make. They think, if I just stay at home and I come up with a great idea and I'll spend months and months on working on it, then the world will beat a path to my doorstep. Well, it doesn't work that way. The world beats a path because when you make the path, you have to lead them along. People will buy the idea before they will buy the physical product itself. So you have to sell to the audience that's going to be buying, at least have people ready to buy it as soon as you produce it, at the very least. And if you can do that, you can actually start making money very quickly.
So you just sell idea first and try to just go forward with that.
There's a lot of different caveats to that depending on the industry you're in. If you're in the biotech industry, if you're doing a pharma product, you're going to have to wait for approvals. That could take years. So you have to plan for that accordingly. It's a different approach to things. But if you're looking at like a hardware or software device, which is very common here, you have to think about how quickly can I do this device to get the concept across well enough for somebody to see the advantage of buying into this product. And those would be early orders, people that would say, if you can produce it to this specification, I will buy it. That was my first business, and that was the first thing I ever did. I opened up my business with no money, and I started off saying, well, I got to get a customer before I know I'm going to make money. So I said, look, I got the customer. Now I got the customer. I know what I'm doing, but I got to go get all the other stuff to do the work. And then it was a consistency. Today we call them milestones. So you create milestones, and when you accomplish your milestones, you create the delivery. You look at opportunities to create product on a stage basis. If your product isn't just one shot to have it done, you look at what stages you can go through with a customer. Say, I'll give you partial delivery on this, which is something they really need. It's a complete product according to accounting standards that we use today. At the highest level, you want to deliver complete products. So to call it income, you want to call it a complete product. So Just look how you can deliver complete products as soon as possible.
No, so you don't have to have a finished product. You can have your idea and work towards idea. Maybe money for 3 months to keep yourself on the float. How would you market the idea?
Well, that's the idea. The idea is not about the manufacturing the idea, the creating the idea physically. The idea is about the market. You need to go out to the market and find out who's interested in buying this product, who will pay for this product, how much they will pay, how big is your market, how many people are interested in this. And it's an evolving conversation. You can have it all done on research. You can do this all on paper and know that you've got a certain market sector all mapped out. And by the way, you can't say 6 billion people. You cannot say that in your marketing plan. That is not a realistic goal. You have to say what you feel like you can
You're
really
going to be
reach.
stuck on the traits, patents, and countries' permissions.
Right, exactly. And you've got all of that. That's another part. You have to go back to the attorneys and you talk to them about you get what's called a preliminary and a provisional, and then from there you have a year before you need to file for your final paperwork, and it's there's a lot less money involved in the beginning, but then it's bigger towards the end. So it encourages you to have something done very quickly. You want to plan on making income as soon as possible. You want to have income coming in, however small, on month 2. If you start on month 1, month 2, you want to have your first income coming in through some channel, maybe even an alternate of your product or something similar in your product line, sticking close to your product model. It's easy to take something outside of your product line, but you should stick close to what you really believe in. Otherwise, you'll end up doing something you may not even care for.
So, what do investors want to hear about?
The most important thing you can tell an investor is that they're going to make money. The thing that they don't want to hear is how they're going to lose money.
Okay. Yes, I guess nobody will want to lose the money. That's easy to do.
They don't want the good idea. They want to know how they're going to make money.
So it's work on the promise to investors.
Yeah, you need to be able to promise the investors that they won't be able to lose their money, and you're going to back that up because you have done some research to say, I am determined to make this work no matter what. That's going to come first, and then the other part is what we do is we insure investor funds. So if your company goes bad, then the investor does not suffer. So the problem a lot of companies have when they go in the early first rounds of investment is they rely on people that are close to them. They get a lot of money in, and then all of a sudden they're in trouble, and they don't know what to tell their investors. They're just they just drive themselves on the ground. With us, it's a little different. The investors are protected. We're able to generate revenue immediately back to the investors, and as time goes on and as you meet your milestones, there's more revenue coming in from the company
So
itself.
we're talking about fund division here right
We're
now?
talking
or
about
what
fund
it is?
division.
Yes, so
Yes,
we
we
kind
are.
of moved from investors, regular investors, and your idea of investing in the company. So refresh the memory. I know, as I have been working with you in the past in terms of listening your seminars and seeing you since at least January of this year, where I met you at my VIP Russian night, my birthday celebration. Thank you for coming, by the way.
That was the best thing I did all year.
Did you like our Russian presentations and performance there?
It was really great. I mean, I just realized how much I didn't know anything about this. It was really, really nice.
So you had some Russian pirozhkis. Did you try vegetarian and meat?
Yes, I tried both. I'm okay with any kind of food, just about. Food is always good, and the music, the entertainment, everything, the energy was just really, really awesome, and I can't wait for you to do it again this year.
Yeah, I have to think of it because we did it like in 2 nights. We just decided, okay, we're gonna celebrate it, and that was the craziest idea ever I have done in 2 days of asking people to come in. Because 2 bands who actually came to perform, it was their idea, and I said, sure, let's do it. I mean, if you insist, I'm gonna find you the place, I'm gonna find the vendors with wonderful food, and I find you people who would be happy to celebrate Russian night together with my birthday. So that was great.
And I hope everyone hears what you're saying, because this is how business works. You all of a sudden have this idea, it comes together in 2 days, and you have an audience, and there's some appreciation. You do a delivery, you do a product, you're having a great time, the people are having a great time. And by the way, if you have a great time, your customers are going to have a great time too. It all works together. You got to have that energy. You can't be working and just dreading going to work in the morning. If you are, then you need to change your strategy. You need to really love what you do. People need to know how much you love what you do, and you just pull that off really well.
Yeah, well, for me it's easier because I'm partially in technology, partially in show business. So you put all this together, and it's actually sky is the limit in terms of all of the things we could possibly do for me personally, and of course for the people around me.
Well, I feel like I'm interviewing the business owner now, and I'm hearing this success story. Again, I get to hear these stories all the time, and the most fun thing about my business is I get to talk to people like you. I get to hear all this energy, and I'm just inspired by people I meet every day.
Yeah, I know it's live shows coming up called Olga's live show, so that's on the plan with Microsoft. I know we have to work with, and you have been part of it, discussions, so I'm working on it. So make it unforgettable not only for you and me and many others who was at VIP Russian Night, but also those who can participate us in the future.
And I really hope we can get a lot of people to come in and contribute to this, because it's all about us really enjoying what we do and creating businesses for ourselves, jobs, money, everything else follows after that. But first of all, we're doing the things we really believe in, and our energy is out there for anybody that wants to do it with us.
We will come back after commercial break, and so Olga show with you. You can find us now on TV, you can find us on the radio, you can find us of course on the internet, and you can find us wherever you want to find us. Thank you. Olga show.